Hello, hello. We are live. Happy Thursday to everyone. It's 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Evolution live show. I am here today with Ev Wright. I'm going to bring her in. Hi, Ev.
Hi.
How are you? Welcome, welcome.
Oh, thanks.
We are live on Facebook, the Facebook Entrepreneur Evolution group, YouTube, and LinkedIn right now. How cool is that?
Yeah, really cool.
Right? This is fun. Yeah. So Ev is the owner of Wright Academics, and we're going to hear a little bit more about that. She joined us on episode 5 of the podcast, and what we're doing here is we're inviting guests from the podcast back for you to share their stories, industry updates, what they're seeing right now in their world, and just to share opportunities and challenges out there. So Ev, why don't you start off with a quick recap about you and your company, and then we'll get into the 3 questions, and then you get to ask me a question, and then we're done.
Okay. So yes, I have a kind of a tutoring and academic coaching company right here in Towson, although now we are all virtual as well. So it's, it goes beyond for everyone. But we specialize with students of all different ages, anywhere from elementary all the way through college and even beyond that sometimes. And sometimes our students have specific learning issues like dyslexia or dysgraphia, but oftentimes they don't too. They just need that extra academic support. But one of the main things that we do in the office is we help students, like I said, of all different ages with executive skills. And that's kind of like their organizational systems and almost like internally how they're organized. So, how they manage their time, how they manage their space around them, how they manage all the new incoming information, study skills, things like that, and just their physical organization as well. So that's kind of the bread and butter of what we do mostly, but it's all built on relationship.
Well, and, going back at the podcast in July, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I mean, you have had monumental growth, not only like from a business standpoint, but through the ripple effect of really impacting the community, helping the community, getting creative with where to support, right? Working parents, children, everyone was in a different type of wave. And you were really there. You were positioned well. So share with us 3 wins that you have had that you'd like to share with the audience here that might help them as well.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest wins was that I bought and renovated a house to move the business into. And that happened. So we actually opened up in February 24th of 2020.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, we had to shut down because of the pandemic. But just having that space open for those 3 weeks or so gave everybody the taste of, okay, this is a really cool place to learn, right? The coaches are awesome. The space itself, there's tons of natural light. There's a game room. There's outdoor decks, things like that.
Yes.
So everybody kind of got a teaser for that. And I saw it. I mean, every one of the rooms was active, all at the same time. We had a lot of everything going on. It was like a dream come true. And then 3 weeks later, it shuts down. But when we were able to get back in, as soon as we were, and that was, we really were only shut down for a couple of months. And with all the precautions in place and everything, we were still able to offer those in-person sessions. Now, still doing a lot of virtual, but just the opportunity to offer that, a lot of places didn't have that. Everything else was shut down. And so that was a huge win for us because we were able to offer in-person one-on-one, but also small groups. And so all those kids that had to be virtual for so long then had this opportunity to do small groups with the social distancing. But we kept it to I think the minimum was about 4, max is about 6 to 8. And with the little kids, it was only 6. So that was a huge win for us, just having the ability to offer that to families. And
so you buy a building, you go through this big move, then you're able to host these groups and get innovative. What else? What else was a big win for you?
So since then, we have just grown. And so another big win for me has been just the opportunity to bring on new coaches, right? And it's an exciting time when you can see that. And and also the opportunity to see them flourish, that has been really exciting for me, just going through that whole process and seeing them. Just like I just brought on a young woman, Sarah, and right off the bat, she had 4 hours. And that's a lot for her. And she's a teacher herself. And so that's a lot. And so it's just been really great to see them like have clients right away and just be able to hit the ground running right away. That's really great. And then I think the other opportunity is that since we're growing, we almost kind of need like tiers of people, right? And so some of the coaches that are they've been with me for a while and they've just shown such a talent and a devotion to what they're doing. I've been able to kind of elevate their status to mentor to the mentors, so that when a new person comes in, and I've been trying to bring in a lot of young people to give them an opportunity to really show, because young kids love working with college students. And so I'm really trying to do a lot of training. And so because I have this like team of people, and you've heard me say, like, I keep saying, it's like the Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come, right? Yes. So we're trying to really, really build this incredible team of people with different kind of layers, so that they have a mentor, they have somebody. I never want a tutor or a coach to feel like they're on an island by themselves. I never want that. So I always want them to feel really, really supported, because that's when that's when good teaching really happens and really good connections happen.
Absolutely. And, we've talked about this before. It's really your internal client are your tutors and their self-development, right? And then your external clients are the families and the students and the parents that need this help and support. And you really have built and grown both of them, along with providing this amazing space and, remote opportunities too. So give us a backdrop. What is happening from what you're seeing? I know through the industry update, we're transitioning to summer. We have a lot of working parents out there. Summer packets are probably coming out. Kids are, winding down. Parents are winding down, right? From this school year. It's been so much.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're seeing out there that might help the audience in your industry.
I am seeing a lot of parents that they want their kids back in school so much. Now, that's not to say that the virtual doesn't work. And I just want to kind of say that out loud too, is that I think if anything this year has proven that it is a really good option. For us, we continue to do a lot of virtual, even though a lot of our kids are back in school, but we're still doing virtual because it is so convenient. And especially when you're working one-on-one with a student, it really is, they can really develop good relationships, whether it's virtual or whether it's in person. And I think that's a really important piece, but it also throws our net out so wide too. So people in Kansas that are calling and they don't have the opportunity to have anyone, now they do, because you have this virtual connection. And it's like you and I are looking at one another. I mean, that's exactly what it is. And you can share screens and you can share a whiteboard and you can do math on it. We have seen that this year. So I think that the virtual thing has been a really great thing, even though it has been challenging for a lot of families. And that's just because there's a lot of students that really don't do as well on virtual. And so having the in-person, I think that the teachers and the students and the families, a lot of them really are looking forward to getting back in. Really, I've heard kids say, I can't wait to go back to school. That's an amazing thing, because you don't really hear that very often, but I've heard it.
That's right. So what other opportunities and challenges are you seeing right now in your business as you're evolving?
Okay, so in my business with tutoring and academic coaching, a lot of it does seem to revolve around the school year, right? So one of my biggest challenges, and it has been since day one, is what do you do in those off seasons? Because it's kind of more seasonal, right? So when a kid is on spring break or a kid's on Christmas break or summer, I mean, so many people are like, oh, I just need to give my kid a break. And actually, that's the time where this transition time is so important, because first of all, they don't have school during the time, and but they can really build their skills. So that's why we have tried to come up with a really, and last year we did it too, but with summer programs for kids, enrichment programs where they can come in and they can learn in a small group with reading, writing, math, science. We have an all-day coding camp this year. So we're really trying to, and then some camps and enrichment groups that are not as academic. Like I have one that's led by one of the women that works with me who has a counseling background, and she's doing a transition back to school kind of thing, like the emotional piece of that, right? Getting ready for that. Somebody else is doing drama. Someone else is doing budgeting. Like we have different opportunities that way, both academic and non-academic. But then we're also doing neighborhood pods, because a lot of these kids will have summer work. You mentioned the summer packets, the book they have to read, the writing response they have to do, right? The journaling they might have to do. And I've already vetted all these coaches. They're ready. They're ready to go out the door, right? So if you have a group of 4th grade kids or 5th grade or a group of 2nd graders, whatever it is, I've got a coach ready to go into your little pod. You create the pod of kids in the neighborhood. They already have you have the content, and we supply these really great coaches. Now that they're not only going to help them with their work, but they're going to help them organize it for the whole summer, which is going to lower your, as a family, it will lower the tension, because, kids will say all the time, like, oh, I don't care about the summer work, but I don't care if I don't get it done. But really they do care. They really do. It's a weight off of their shoulders if they can keep up with their work, and it makes them feel more confident.
And to have a plan. Exactly. Well, not only that, but it's like, as a working parent, especially, you don't want to overschedule your child for the summer, but at the same time, you don't want to have them go to camp and then take them to a tutor. And then by that time, they don't even get time to really play.
Right.
So I love that you are bringing the coach, the executive coach, the tutor to the neighborhood pod, so that the kids can still run around, see their friends, but still have fun. Like that is innovative, and that is very unique. I love that. I love that.
And if the coach is out there, it's usually somewhere between 2 and 3 hours to work with a group of kids.
Okay.
But they're going to have structured breaks with them. And I mean, I've got one of the guys that's doing it, he's a football player. He was a football player. And so he goes and he throws the football around with the kids, and he just jokes around with them. Like, it just makes the whole process so much less stressful for the kid, for the family in general, for the parent, definitely. And then the kid feels better about it. And so I think that those transition times are the best time. The other thing too is it really helps avoid that summer slide. Because the more because they really do lose a lot. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So, and I agree with you. I don't think every day should be spent in tutoring. I don't think anything like that. But I do feel like kind of like a maintenance over the summer would be really helpful. With some of our dyslexic kids, we like double up on their Orton Gillingham, because that's a great time to do it when they don't have the kind of the stress of school on top of it.
Right. Exactly. They have that room to grow. They have that space to be curious. I love it. I love it. And I really hope that people look into that. Where do we find you? WrightAcademics.com, correct?
Yes. Yeah. WrightAcademics.com. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn and Instagram.
That's good. And we'll tag you and share you and drop everything here. So now you get to turn the tables. What is your question for me? You get to ask me anything, interview me.
I think my question would be, I'm a business owner, right? And we've been working for many years together. What's your best piece of advice for both a new business owner and also someone that's been in the business for about 5 to 10 years?
That's a great question. And I'd say it's the same thing. I'd say it's going all in and showing up and being consistent. If you can really get the discipline and and show up for yourself, for your team, for your business. If it's day one, if it's day 10,020, that's what's going to really make the difference. And if not, you get lazy, or you get complacent, or you get off. And that's why I think accountability partners, coaches, whatever kind of resources you can bring into your organization or to your world to help you about how you're personally designed really helps. So I'd say it's going all in, showing up, even the days you don't feel like it, even the minutes you don't feel like it. We all have our slumps. We all have our moments. Reset, come back, and then try and be as consistent as possible. You have to keep on going to the base and swinging the bat, going up to bat. And it's hard. You know it. You feel it. You see it, especially when you're thrown major curveballs. Yeah. You are so excited to open up this gorgeous space that you had just designed. The world slaps you in the face.
I know. I mean, that was just amazing.
But your growth in this type of world has been monumental. I don't want to share numbers live here, but Ev, you've done such an amazing job. It is inspiring, and not only from business owner to business owner what you've done, but from mom to mom, and supporting the community and these kids and these teachers and these schools and these therapists and these psychologists out there. Right. What you're doing from an education and executive function standpoint, it's amazing. You have to keep it going. You have big things in store.
Well, I really appreciate you saying all that, but it is not a one-woman show at all. So, I mean, I was listening to one of your podcasts the other day, and the guy was just talking about his team and how none of it happens without a team. And that's exactly the way that I felt or feel, is that none of this happens without the people doing the work on the ground. All the close to 40 tutors that are working there now, and the amazing back office staff, from everything from administration to website to social media to the bookkeeping, and then operations strategists, all of that. I mean, it's a big investment, but it does pay off, and it makes me just a lot more confident in what I'm doing, and makes me be able to use my time the best and create this incredible team. So it's not a one-woman show by any means.
Love it. I love it. I'm so proud of you. Thanks for being here live with us.
It was fun.
Brilliant. Thanks for giving us the update and sharing, real challenges and some industry updates in the education space. Keep it going. Ev's on episode 5 if you want to hear more about her story. And be sure to follow her, encourage her, ask her questions, use her as a resource. She's here. So thanks, Ev.
All right. Bye.
All right. Talk to you soon.